With the recent hotfix for update 217, we got a mask dedicated to Mikhail Nermark, which you can get it by spending $10 at Humble Bundle. The link is in the description. And the Leech got nerfed. We bitched and moaned to Overkill enough to warrant a nerf. Since they seem to take an active action against the Leech, I thought it would be nice to offer some feedback. Since everyone knows that Overkill likes to listen to the insightful and delicate feedback of their beloved and dedicated community. So, what was the nerf, you may ask? There are two different nerfs made to Leech. The first and the insignificant one is the nerf to its teammate healing. Now, the healing is capped to 20% for every second. This barely changes anything. Aside from one situation where two leeches just keep healing the other two at a nauseating rate, it is what it is. The other nerf is much more significant and elegant, I must say. From now on, damage over 200 will remove 2 chunks. This change tones down the Leech's effectiveness on Crime Spree and on Death Sentence to some degree. There are 5 units on Death Sentence that deals over 200 damage. Shotgun Street Cop, Green Dozer, Black Dozer, Sniper and the almighty Heavy Zeal, the Destroyer of Worlds, the Satan's manifestation on Earth. And you can remedy Heavy Zeals with 2 skills, Quick Fix Aced and Underdog Aced. So the current meta is to use Fax with Quick Fix and Underdog Aced combined when playing as clients. Wait a minute, why clients and not host? Well, the Underdog's code has some devil in it and it likes to trigger 99% of the time as a client, but I don't want to get into that. This nerf is really elegant, and you can counter it for the most common enemy type. Plus, believe it or not, when I tested Leech builds, my deck was missing the last card, meaning I lacked 60% extra health and 5 extra chunks. And I was still doing fine with it. But you're a good player, Mr. Bayonne 1K, right? Yeah, well, wrong. Believe it or not, I'm incredibly mediocre in this game, and my current PC problem isn't helping much. And I still did fine with 20% extra health and 5 chunks, so you guys have no excuse to oppose this change. These nerfs are a step in the right direction, but we can still tone it down without hurting its overall power. There are few balance problems with the Leech, one being its insane uptime for a really short cooldown, one being the self-revive and the last being the iframes when you kill 2 enemies. So, here are my proposed changes. Increase the cooldown to 40 seconds. This will reduce its spammability. Remove the self-revive part. Rolling a very powerful high-tier skill into a perk is just not ideal. And yes, Messiah has a very powerful skill as long as you can fit into your build effectively. The reason why this skill gets so much hate because people that uses it doesn't bring enough damage with their build. As long as you can bring good DPS and some utilities for the team, speccing for the Messiah isn't a bad idea. And remove the iframes when you kill 2 enemies. These are quite the nerfs, so here's my proposed buff. Let Leech keep its armor during the ampule. This buff will have 2 very important effects. One being that it gives a choice to the player in the game. Do I take damage by keeping my armor down to heal my teammates, or go for the bullseye gauge to keep myself healthy? This is a way to increase the player agency instead of iframes protecting you whenever. Other effect being the armor choice outside of the game. Currently, the builds made to abuse Leech to its maximum potential uses suit. Since Ampule is so spammable and using the Ampule breaks your armor, optimized builds just uses suit and spends the rest of the points to DPS. This will give more incentive to choose an armor for the desired playstyle, therefore increasing the build variety amongst users. This armor change has one negative outcome, that being the ICTV combined with healing may be overpowered, but that can be remedied by increasing the amount of kills required to restore 1 chunk, depending on the armor value. These changes will keep the Leech as a top tier deck, while making it way more driven by player agency, instead of deck basically carrying the players by itself. So, That was my proposed changes. What do you think about the current nerf and my extra suggestions? Do you have any ideas how we can improve the overall balance? Let me know in the comments. These balance videos is about giving feedback and ideas to Overkill, so more people share their ideas, the better. Anyways, huge shoutouts to Meme Daddy for handing me a really good software for recording. It makes my life a little bit easier. Also, thanks Garrett for rendering this video. At this rate, I'm just hoping that Garrett won't ask me to return the favor in the form of my ass cheeks. And you, the dear viewer. Thank you for your time. See you around, y'all. Keep yourselves safe. These changes will keep the Leech as a top tier deck while making it way more driven by player agency, instead of deck basically carrying the players itself. These changes will keep the Leech as a top tier deck while making it way more player driven. These changes will keep the Leech as a top tier deck while making it way more driven by player agency instead of back. What the back? What the fuck? Ah! This recording is a fucking mess.